going to show you how to do watercolours. You will either choose watercolours or you're going to use pencil grind. So the first demonstration is going to be on watercolours. So in your packs you should have watercolours like this. If you don't have watercolours, then you're going to have to use the pencil crayons that I have provided for you. So I've already drawn out the image of a contemporary corset. Some of you've got these, some of you've got more complex ones or different ones. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to show you how to apply the colour. Now, with watercolours, there's certain things that you need to just bear in mind. And one is that you can't add too much water because it's going to get really watery. So if I just give you a quick demo, if you add too much water, I put it a little bit there, and you add more water to it as well, it's just going to get really watery. And some people in the past, when you've used watercolour, this is how it ends up, because you keep putting too much water and then it doesn't do the trick. And sometimes what some of you do is that you keep going over it and over it and over it because you're trying to blend it in. And what happens eventually is that it starts to, the paper starts to bubble. You see, yeah, starts to bubble, and then you get like little bits coming off your paper. You don't want that either. So I'm going to show you how to apply your watercolour really gently. You're using watercolour if your image is quite simple, like for example this one. If it's got lots of lines in there, you're going to struggle unless you're very skillful. So please practice beforehand. Now, the first thing I would do is I go from dark and then I go light. Some people may just go light and then put dark tones on top, but I'm going to start off dark and then I'm going to use water to just lighten it up, just to blend it in. So have a look at your image first of all, and work out where your light and dark tones are. On this image, it's really easy to figure out where all the tones are. So we've got light tones at the side, and then at the front, you've got highlights of the white tones reflecting off the fabric, which is kind of like shiny. So this one's really easy. It may be that some are not as easy as this, so you really got to figure out where your light is shining from or to. So I'm going to start off by just doing this bit here. So the only colour I'm going to use is black. You could possibly use other tones like blues to go into it, but I'm going to just show you just using black to start off with. I'm just going to move that out of the way so you can see the image. Right, I'm going to start at the top, round about here. So I'm going to go into the corner just a little bit, like that, just to add a bit of dark tone. And I'm using it very gently and wispy, my paintbrush. Have a paper towel down in front of you as well, because you want to try and get rid of excess water. And then what you do is you just try to use just the tip of the paintbrush, and you're going to try and gently ease out some of that tone like that. So where it's dark, drag it out until it fades away and goes lighter. If it's curvy tones, and you can try and do curvy tones, that's fine. But you've got to make sure it's blended in. So just use the tip of your paintbrush, kind of just blend all of that in. Okay, so that's just a little bit. I'm going to continue with this technique. So add a little bit of water to your palette, and then I'm going to go darker around about here. Don't worry if it's not perfect, if you've not done it right, just keep continuing and see what it looks like. Of course, practice beforehand on a separate sheet of paper on just how to use your watercolour.